How's it going, guys? I figured I'd make a part 2 on my wood stove. I didn't cover a couple of things the first time, and I figured I'd just get them out of the way this time. So, I've got the manual here with me, and we're going to dive into it so I can give you a couple of facts about the size, the outputs, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about, why I have it and why it doesn't have a flue damper on it, okay? Because I did have somebody bring that up on another forum. So, this is the True North TN10, okay? It's the smallest in the True North TN series, and it's rated for mobile home application. It's a welded, constructed steel, okay? So it is a little less prone to cracking than you would get from your normal cast iron. Now, one of the things that I'm going to conquer right off the bat is because it doesn't have a flue damper on it, don't freak out. Most people won't pay attention to this, but it actually has a switch right underneath it, right down there. And if you reach down right underneath that little itty bitty tray and you kick that over, that shuts the damper all the way down for the stove itself. That's the way it was designed, so I didn't bother putting one in the pipe because I was told that that was a bad idea and it would actually disrupt the way this stove works. With that being said, let's get into how this stove works, okay? So this particular stove has an air intake on the bottom, obviously, which you can control with that lower damper switch. Now, as it burns wood and it accumulates smoke, once it reaches a certain temperature, it has an air intake system rail on the inside that has imports on either side of the stove that intake air and reburn and a whole bunch of stuff like that, and then burns your smoke on its way out. So putting a flue damper in there would definitely impede this stove's efficiency, okay? So, when you go, honestly, in the manual to page 3, and you go to this sheet right here, what you come across is the efficiency and BTU output for the stove, okay? So on your certified emissions, you have 1.4 grams per hour. On your LHV tested efficiency 1, you have 80.4%. Your HHV tested efficiency is 72.6. Sorry about that. And then your EPA BTU output 3 is 13,084 to 17,623 BTUs an hour. Okay? That's a lot. And then you go to your peak BTUs an hour, and that's the output for, and that's 24,400 BTUs an hour. Now, this particular stove only holds, 14-inch maximum, 12-inch ideal, and it all has to be seasoned cord wood. So, just in case, because I know I did mess up that one number, I'm going to put this up for you so that you can see it for yourself. And you don't have to sit here and be like, oh, he wasn't right. So, there you go. There's no questioning the details when you can see them yourself. And I'm doing that just so that there's no question about it. I got this thing cranking on in the background and it's doing pretty well. Is it for everybody? Maybe not. Maybe you can't use it. Maybe you can. So, anyway, when it comes to your insurance, you really do have to talk to your insurance agent when it comes to stuff like this. Some areas allow it, some areas don't. This is a mobile home rated. Technically, I'm a mobile home. That's just the way it works, all right? There really are no super awesome loopholes to get around your insurance when it comes to stuff like this, okay? So, when you go to page 13, I believe it is. No, my bad, it was 11. So, you go to page 11 and it gives you the stove dimensions. So I'm going to go ahead and put this up here because I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. It's kind of a really hard thing to do. So I'm just going to put this up here so that you can pause it if you need to, okay? And you can zoom in and you can see the numbers. This thing is not big at all, okay? It's a really, really small stove. And at the time, it was the only thing that I could find that was very, very small and rated for mobile home application. And then the last page that I'm going to show you basically, and this is where I didn't budge at all, okay, for all of you guys out there that are like, oh, I'll make this work and I'll make that work and I'll make this work. When I installed this, I did not fudge the numbers at all. I did everything I possibly could to make this to where it is 100% safe, because this is not something you want to play around with, okay? So you go to the mobile home application instructions for the stove, for clearances, for combustibles. And this had some of the smallest numbers I had ever seen for a wood stove its size at the time. Okay? So pause that if you need to, so you can zoom into it, because that was extremely helpful. Okay? The fact that it has so little requirements for clearance, and the way the stove operates, and the chimney system that I went with, and the fact that you can bolt it to the floor, it's made out of steel, it's less likely to crack, there's a lot less components to it, it was brand new, and like it was the newest stove on the market from what I understood when I bought it. So I went with it. So I hope this video helped you out. I hope this was some useful information for something you might be able to use. But then again, check this stuff before you install it, okay? Because you don't want to cut a hole in a roof if you can't run what you wanted to run, okay? Because then you're dealing with a whole nother can of worms, okay? So you guys take care. I'm Ron, and if you like this video, go ahead and drop a like on it. Smash that subscribe button and kick that bell outside the window so that you don't have to worry about it the next time I drop a video, and you'll be notified every single time I've got something new to show you. You guys take care.